Clicking the link, lean in, your grin, two mics, one vibe. All right, let's dive.
Hi, both.
Hey, Emma, how are you?
Not too bad. Just making that bigger. That's better.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Yeah,
you. I love your background.
Ah,
yeah.
thanks. Yeah, I'm in space, you know.
Oh, I
Space
love
jockey.
that. Good
Exactly.
space jockey reviews background. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, so I'll do the official introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Rennert with my co-host Leah and Maya Wynn Oost, and this is the Contagious podcast. And today we have the Space Jockey Reviews Out of This World honor of having director, writer, producer, actress, photographer, and a whole lot more, Emma Dark. Thank you so much for being here today, Emma. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes. So, and for a little introduction, I wanted to say that I first noticed you, Emma, when I saw your film Seize the Night back in 2015. And in that film, you are a very beautiful vampire named Eva who has escaped from a bio-research lab determined to get revenge by any means necessary. The movie's poster and trailer immediately got my attention because I love vampires. I watched Seize the Night, loved it, and wrote a glowing review about it for my website. And that's when I first connected with you on Facebook. Since then, I've covered Salient Minus 10, another of your films. And so, as I've said before, when I first joined the podcast with Maya, you are one of the first people I decided to invite on the show. So again, thank you so much for being here. And I've talked so much that maybe, Maya, do you want me to ask the first one? Or
Go ahead.
Oh,
You go ahead.
okay, good, great. That's what I wanted to do.
I knew it.
Okay, so Emma, the first credit you have in your filmography is for a film called Island of the Blind Dead. And when I watched it, I immediately, before I even knew that it was an homage film for Tombs of the Blind Dead, I immediately thought that. So I just, seeing that film, I'm assuming that you have been inspired by that film. And so if you want to tell us a little bit about that film as your beginning point or whatever else may be your starting point for filmmaking.
Yeah, sure. So that one, it technically is the first narrative kind of horror film that I made, but actually it wasn't even supposed to be made.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, I was planning Season Night, started to look at that, and then this whole Island of the Blind Dead thing was just supposed to be a photo shoot. So
Oh.
I'd created the costume. The person I was with wanted some pictures in the costume. Um, this was in Corfu in a place called St. George South, which you see at the end on the end credits. And kind of like unbeknownst to me and the other filmmaker, the people of St. George South are very keen actors. And they
Oh.
even have, yeah, it's like it's kind of the tourist area, and you go up to the village, and the village is quite small, quite quaint and everything, but they've got a huge theatre for the
Oh.
local amateur dramatic group. It's crazy. It's like really good, really luxurious. And then all of a sudden, this progressed from just being a photo shoot to actually being a film,
That's so cool.
and was yeah, like, and it was written kind of loosely in about 3 days during lots of kind of like tropical
Wow.
thunderstorms, and yeah, then I just shot it. So
That's insane.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be.
That's amazing how you could
Yeah,
just
that's
turn a photo shoot into a film.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's very interesting. And so were there some scenes in the movie that were perhaps from the
Mm.
photo shoot? Because I think in the movie
No,
no, okay.
in the end, the
Okay.
photo shoot didn't happen.
Oh,
Oh
it didn't
no.
happen at all. Okay. Because
No.
I think in the movie there is a scene where you're on the beach,
Oh
I
yes,
think.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
when you said photo
yeah,
shoot, I thought maybe that was from it.
yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
No.
like I said earlier, that film really captured the whole atmosphere and look
Mm,
of Tombs of the Blind Dead, which is very obscure. A lot of people don't even know
mm.
about the movie, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
It is quite obscure, and the whole thing, it was just filmed. I just had a compact camera with me, and I mean, this is like obviously quite a while ago
Wow.
now, and
right,
things have moved on in terms of cameras. But it was a
yeah,
tiny little compact camera about this
yeah.
big,
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Well,
and with
actually, I think that might have helped it for that type of movie because
yeah.
yeah, it just gives it that look. Yeah. Okay, so Maya,
So,
uh,
I see that you're a director, a
Mhm.
filmmaker, an actor, a model, and a photographer. Like,
Yeah.
which one do you like the most?
Filmmaking. So for me, directing, but also actually shooting. I love shooting. I love actually shooting the stuff myself. But I mean, in terms of my two kind of more major festival films, so what I would call like the serious films, Seize the Night and Sailing at -10, I didn't shoot those. Other people shot them. Um, it's a lot to try and direct and
Do
shoot stuff
everything.
yourself. Yeah, and I have tried with the more intense projects, and it's just so difficult. But yeah, for kind of like smaller things, I do like to shoot them myself because I just love that. But
S-
yeah.
So, out of all your projects, which one is
Mm.
your favorite?
Um, hmm.
Hmm.
I don't think I have a favorite
Oh,
as such, to be honest. I mean, I like them all for different reasons. And I mean, the ones where I'm behind the camera as well, like Season Night, obviously that gave me a more rounded and different experience than maybe some of the other things that I've done. So everything is a different experience. I would say, in terms of what other people's favorites are, probably would be Season Night. It's my most popular film. So I think there's something to be said for that. But yeah.
when
yes.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't want to cut you off. Did you?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, the reason I wanted to jump in is because Seize the Night is my favorite film that you've
Mm,
done. And so I have to ask more about that one. For the listeners out there, it's a horror action film described. It is your first self-produced and directed festival short film. That's the
hmm
way on IMDb.
Yeah.
And for the listeners out there, I'll read the synopsis. Quote, I quote, renegade vampire assassin Eva has escaped from a secret bio research compound. Hell bent on revenge, she learns a terrible secret that may force her to unite with the devil she knows in order to defeat the greatest of all evils. This film is very effectively shot in black and white. It's a great story. It has a very unique, captivating style that actually reminds me a lot of Razor Blade Smile in a
Mm.
way. It's got that look to it. And I know, I'm sure it has a connection. Uh, where did you get the idea for Seize the Night? And tell us more
Mm.
about your experience uh, making the film, especially as your first self-directed and self-produced film.
Sure. So basically around that time, I'd been involved in other people's projects. There was a lot of horror, gothic, vampire stuff. There was a lot of vampire stuff. There's always a lot of vampire stuff because everybody loves vampires.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but at the time, I just, I'd kind of landed in this place where I was getting involved in a few of these vampire things. And I really like the film Blade, number one.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
mm,
good one.
So
mm.
Yes.
although it doesn't really look like it, but that is an inspiration.
Okay.
Obviously, things like Underworld as well,
Yes.
Yes.
major films. Razor Blade Smile by Jake
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, if you've looked at Jake's recent re-release of Razor Blade Smile with his restoration, he talks a lot about the kind of beginnings of these kind of films. And Razor Blade Smile pretty much set the bar for the films that followed, like Underworld, Blade, etc. In terms of the aesthetic, the vampire aesthetic, with the modern look, with the kind of like the latex and the PVC and things like that. So again, that was a major influence on my film. In terms of making the film, well, I just went into the deep end, basically. Yeah. So I had quite a few casting crew. I think maybe around 25 in total.
Wow.
It's just a lot, right? For your
Yeah.
first proper film that
Yeah.
you've actually
Yeah.
planned
That's a
and not
lot. A
not
lot more than mine.
randomly shot on a Greek island. Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was a lot going on. And a lot went wrong as well as right, which you learn from. And it
Yeah.
was all shot in the dark, in the cold.
Oh,
Yeah, not hospitable conditions, but lots of hospitable people, thankfully.
well,
So
that's good.
lots of people that would let me use their locations for a reasonable fee and were very patient with all the casting crew. And everybody really banded together. And a lot of the focus goes on the director, especially when it comes to short films, the director and the main actor. But there are so many people involved, and if they were not involved and if everyone was not on the same wavelength and banded together so much and really passionate about the project, I don't think it would have come out as well.
Right.
Yeah. And I'll just add that it is available, at least currently, on YouTube right now to
Mhm.
watch for free. So everybody check that out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How did you start in the business? Like, when did you start?
Mm. Okay, so this is a multi-step process. So if we're talking about like narrative filmmaking and all the cool
Yeah.
fancy stuff that we're talking about on podcasts like this, it goes back to starting with modeling really. And I'd actually joined, I think this might have been in 2009 or something like that. I joined a photography meetup group in London.
Oh.
I joined as a photographer, but with meetup.com, you don't
Oh,
really
you
state what
started
you're
as a
joining.
photographer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just wanted to go to a photography meetup group. And when I joined, the organizer, who I'm still connected with, he's a lovely guy, Caroli, he said, are you joining as a model? And I thought, well, why not then? So, well, I wasn't, but I can. And then, so yeah, I went along to the first meetup group and I started modeling. And then from there, I started to get some like actual paid gigs with Hell Bunny, Spin
Oh
Doctor,
my.
some boutique suppliers and boutique fashion designers and things. And that kind of culminated in two things. One, which was winning this World Goth Day Model of the Year, which got covered in Cosmopolitan Online, The Independent,
Wow.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, so that was really fun. And then what else? Oh my God, my brain's just gone blank. Okay, yeah, sorry, from the modeling, then I started to be involved in music videos. One of
Oh.
the which was a Kim Wilde music video, Every Time I See You Go Wild, by the British
Oh.
Electric Foundation, starring Kim Wilde. Um, yeah, and then I kind of moved into acting, and then not long really before directing.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Wow.
so everything in my life is a bit of a circular and stepped staggered path. So yeah,
Just like just got shoved into everything.
yeah, yeah.
But you never really thought of doing it. It just happened. It just happened.
Well, a long time ago now, when I was a teenager, I did want to be a model then. But at
Aw.
that time, so the things I were interested at the time was modeling, acting, photography, films, but it was really very, very difficult to get into film back then. Um, and art. So those were all the
It just
things I was
happened.
looking at. And yeah, and I tried applying for a couple of agencies and didn't get in and sort of abandoned that. So yeah, yeah. So it
Well,
sort of came back a bit later on.
it it just happened to you because you're
Yeah.
great. I do have another question. Cross,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, it's okay.
Is your last name really Dirk?
Yes.
That's
Oh, wow.
interesting. I've
Yes.
been wanting to
That
ask you
is,
that. That's interesting last name.
I love
Yeah. A
I-
lot
I
of
i-
was
people
wondering
Is
ask.
too.
there an
Yeah.
origin to your last name? Like where?
Historically, I think it means just people with dark hair or dark complexion.
That's
Okay.
so
Yeah.
interesting. I thought
You
it
Yeah.
was
know,
just a stage name.
I'm
And,
glad you asked that, Maya, because I was wondering. I thought surely it just so conveniently fits, a lot of your movies. I
mm,
thought maybe it was just a,
it definitely does.
oh,
That's
Yeah.
wow,
amazing.
Yeah.
awesome.
It's because you were meant for this. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're born for it.
Well, there's a chap that's running the new Hammer films. I can't remember his name. Is it John Gore? Somebody Gore. So that's quite apt.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
So there's a
yeah,
few crazy horror names around.
yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, so well, that's very interesting. Yeah, glad you asked that,
The
Maya.
name, the
Uh,
name.
yeah,
That's so cool.
another
It's such a cool name.
another of your films I definitely want to ask about, Emma, is of course Salient Minus 10,
Mm.
and that is a short horror sci-fi thriller that you directed in 2017 starring Alan Austin.
Mm.
And the film synopsis, I'm going to read it again. Adam Harper is an average man, and on an average day, he suddenly finds himself catapulted into the strangest reality changing game, a game of time and chance where the stakes are a matter of life and death. And the storyline reminds me of a lot of an episode of The Twilight Zone, which
Hmm.
which I really love. I love stories about uh, extraordinary things happening to ordinary people, and all the better when it's a mysterious thriller with a lot of danger, as Salient Minus 10
Mm.
is. And so in the film, this stars Alan Austin. And then I see in the trailer, you are on the beach looking very ominously towards the sea. So it appears that you have something to do with that. And I don't want to give anything away
Mm.
here because that one's also on YouTube. But my question is could tell us about your experiences directing Salient Minus 10 and whatever
Yeah.
else you'd like to say about that.
Yeah, sure. So when it came to that film, I wanted to do something very, very different to Season Night. Um, and to get completely away from vampires as well, because it's like, I mean, they're good. I like vampires, but
Yeah.
I did a bit too many things
Too many
involving
vampires.
vampires. Yeah, and then people just start
Do
typecasting you.
typecasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, what can I do that's different? That's still the kind of thing that I would like. And at the time, I was watching lots of different things like The Invaders, The Out of Limits, The Twilight Zone, all of
Oh,
those kind
yeah.
of things. Yeah. So I wanted to do something that was stylistically kind of that vintage sci-fi kind of look and feel. And obviously, the plot itself is a bit different to Seize the Night. It's a bit more stripped back. I wanted to go in that kind of direction, so it was less verbal, less explanatory, a bit more art house, a bit Kubrick influenced. If you look at some of the font and the kind of locations and stuff like that, got
Yeah.
a bit of a Kubrick influence. Um, yeah, and I did set out to shoot that one myself, and that was the proof that it's
Ah.
very difficult to do and direct. Yeah. So there were some reshoots on that. But ultimately, everything came together for the better because in the end, I had Alan in the lead, and he's fantastic. Just really fit the role, looks the
Yes.
part, just completely looks like this, the kind of actor that they would have had in things at that time.
Yes.
And he's a lovely guy. Philip Bloom on camera as well, absolutely amazing. I mean, he's globally renowned as a cinematographer and has worked with George Lucas and all kinds of
Wow.
things. So yeah, there were a couple of Star Wars themed things. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously, Alan was in Star Wars as well. So yeah, so a bit random. Yeah, and I just put myself in that really not because I wanted to shove myself in it, but because I have come from the modeling and the acting as well. And there was a certain expectation for me to also be on screen. But I stripped that right down so that I basically didn't have to try and have my head in millions of things at once. Yeah.
So how do you balance your life, uh, your life and work? Like, do you
Mm,
have a family? Do you have kids or uh
no.
the, then that's easy, right? Travel, just go, right?
Well, I've got a cat, so it's not
Oh
that
no.
easy.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, and
do
she's
you
quite
take
old,
do you
so she
take
has
her
to be
with
looked
you?
after.
Oh, you
No,
can't.
no, yeah.
Oh.
No, I put her in a cattery and stuff like that if I have to go and do something. Yeah, she's quite old. I think she's 15 now.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, yeah. So
What's
yeah,
her?
she has to be looked after. So yeah, not
Oh.
not totally commitment free, but
Do you go to conventions a lot?
not so much because a lot of them disappeared. So if we
Oh.
go back probably, oh, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years even now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was
Where's
a big flurry of conventions popping up in the UK. Lots of horror, like specific ones, which are really good and had really good billing with lots of different really cool guests in flown in from over the world. Lots of sci-fi conventions of all different sizes. And then it just kind of went bust. So
oh.
there are
Oh.
still conventions, and some of the small sci-fi conventions are coming back. There's not that many of the small horror conventions anymore, though. I don't know. I think maybe, I mean, horror's very popular, so I don't know why, but maybe the market just got a little bit saturated. I don't know. There was
I've
going to be a London horror convention or something
oh.
that I was billed on, and it had loads of really cool guests, a really nice poster, and it just went bust at the
Oh.
last minute.
Mm.
So
Wow.
yeah, so I do a lot less conventions these days, and even if I was doing something currently right now that was, out there to promote, I think there'd still be less places to promote it, unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't know that they're dying out there. There's so much conventions here. It's
Well, yeah,
insane.
we
Mm.
have tons of them here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There are a few little small ones popping up, but and the biggest kind of ones, but the ones that they were kind of starting up, but they were pretty big. They all just disappeared. So
I was gonna ask if you
yeah,
travel here, but then you have responsibility with your baby cat at home, so
yeah,
you will be
exactly.
traveling.
No, well, it's difficult just because
Eh,
it's difficult to actually get her in the caterers. So
Oh,
they seem to be
oh.
fully booked a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
no, I
No, no, no,
don't.
no.
Are
Go
you
ahead, go
sure?
ahead. Yeah, I
Okay.
just asked.
Okay. So on your website, Emma, it's
Mhm.
emmadark.com. I see that you have been a speaker on a panel at PR Week and Campaign
Yeah.
Magazine's Brand Film Festival in London in 2018 as part of a quote, Women in Film discussion panel. And specifically, the title I saw was a focus on female leaders in the film industry. So
Mhm.
tell us some of your ideas from those discussions and with your insight in the film industry and your experience with that.
Yeah, sure. So that kind of came at the height of the women in film, women in horror kind of era, which unfortunately has since again another thing that's vanished, which is a real shame, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, so originally they contacted me and asked me to do a keynote talk, and I for 15 minutes, and I thought I'm not sure I can think of something to talk about for 15 minutes without waffling.
film
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of like, okay, give me give me a
15
cue.
minutes.
What do you want? Like, like. So I said, how about a panel instead? And I'll just be on the panel. And then they sorted out a panel. So it's myself and I think two other filmmakers and the host. And yeah, that was fun. But a lot of it was, about struggling as a female filmmaker, in kind of every aspect, really. And yeah, I think a lot of those things, they seem to have gone. So,
I see that you have a column,
mm.
Emma Dark's Dark Corner in
Hmm.
We Belong Dead magazine. Is
Yeah.
that a permanent? Is that
Yes.
permanent? Like
Yeah,
that's so
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've been writing that for about, I don't know, 5 years. I don't know.
Oh my
I get
goodness.
confused now. It's been a
I
while.
I
It,
just saw it. That's amazing.
and then that also connects to you being an artist, also, because
Mm.
on your website, I
Mm.
saw that on, I believe it is maybe the back cover of one of the books they produced.
Yeah.
Oh.
You did some artwork for that. It was sort of for a book
Mhm.
about Dario Argento, I
Mhm.
believe, Giallo, about Giallo films, and
Mm.
the artwork was very much. It reminded me of a Giallo film
Mhm.
poster. So yeah, I
Yeah.
did have a question about you as an artist as well. So
Okay. Yeah. So that was that piece of art. It was from Deep Red, Profondo
oh okay,
Rosso. So it was a
yes,
doll from that because I like dolls. Yeah, like horror
and
dolls, not kids dolls. Just to
and the
clarify.
book I believe is. I may mess this up because it looks like it's
Mm.
Italian. Il Cinema Rosso di Maestro Argento. That's
Yes,
the
I think
book.
that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
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 Sure
Yeah.
there'll be some Italian speakers out there that will be cursing me, but
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So,
and that one was vector art, so that's all done digitally on the computer. So you create different shapes and you kind of layer them up and everything. And it's a bit of a long-winded process, to be honest. But in terms of art stuff, that's not really something I've done professionally. I've done graphic design professionly,
oh
but
my.
not illustration and art.
okay.
But that was the first thing I was into, from a very early age, like a young children
Yeah.
draw. But I just
I
really
draw
loved it.
stick
Well,
figures, so
well, no, one thing I did not hear you talk about in your earlier years that I read about is that you were also a singer in a band.
Oh
Is that correct?
yes, yeah,
Okay,
girl,
yeah, right.
yeah.
girl, where do we see this?
Yeah, you can look
Uh,
on YouTube for that. So
Okay.
YouTube. Can I just
whether
look up
you
Emma Dark?
yeah, or yeah, if you look on my um YouTube page, there should be some playlists with stuff in
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah, I
So
wanted to see that for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, I
okay,
mean, I just
so far you
kind of
do
landed in that.
everything. Do
Yeah.
you have a book somewhere that you write?
No, no, I
Okay,
should
that's
have
the only
one,
thing
shouldn't
you
I?
haven't done.
Yeah.
So when are you gonna publish this book? Because you've done everything. You
Yeah,
literally
I
have
wouldn't
done
mind.
everything.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're
I've
you,
done quite a few different things over the
you've done
years.
everything. So I'm just waiting for you to publish your book now. So
Yeah.
you're so
Well,
talented.
Yeah.
yeah, if I could kind of focus on it, maybe it would be the kind of easier route than trying to make films because that's well,
Well,
a
ADHD?
lot of hassle. So yeah.
well, well, that's what happened to me. I knew you were a filmmaker and a producer, but then when I started looking on your
Model,
website and
actress,
everything, I thought,
journalist,
wow, yeah, that's why I
artist,
said all these things
everything.
and a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
more. Yeah.
Mm.
I only know a few things at the beginning, and then he told me some more. He's a photographer, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, oh my God, where's all this coming from? There's so much. And now I'm looking you up some more. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much. Now I got a lot of things to look at on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And the photography stuff, I don't really put much of that out on my socials and things like that. There's a few bits and pieces if you scan down things, but a lot of that is kind of my paid work.
And
So
yeah.
commercial photography stuff.
And speaking of all the things you do and possibly more,
Mm.
I saw also on your website and your YouTube channel, you have
Mm.
done what is described as a faux commercial produced
Yes.
for a fictitious app called Zara.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that commercial. And are you also
Mm.
producing potentially commercials for
Mhm.
businesses?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's what I do for my paid work.
oh,
Again,
awesome.
over the years, things have changed. I've been involved in lots of different creative things, but yeah, in recent times, it's been more. My focus has been more on the filmmaking and the photography side of things, and that's what I'm exclusively doing right now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, commercials like brand commercials, brand films, um, kind of like more documentary talking head stuff as well, photography, which is usually portrait event, or reportage kind of stuff. So yeah, so that kind of all feeds into the fake commercial that I made because I wanted to update. I wanted to do two things. I wanted to update my portfolio with
Yeah.
something recent that I wanted to do, the direction of things that I wanted to take things. And my friend Richard Markworth was kind enough to act in that, and he looks amazing. He's amazing to work with, and he's a filmmaker, author, actor, all those things in his own right. Not a
Like
singer
you.
yet. Yeah, not a singer yet, but maybe he can be. But yeah, so it was, yeah, it just really came together. I like what I produced. I did all the graphics and stuff in it as well, the motion stuff. That was another thing I was trying to look at, another string to add to my bow. And yeah, I've kind of lost track of where I'm going with that now. But oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to put that publicly on my channel just to show people that, obviously people listening to podcasts will be more interested in my narrative filmmaking stuff and the horror, sci-fi, etc. But I want to show that I'm a multi-dimensional person and that this is the kind of stuff I can also do. So yeah.
So horror is what you like to do most, but you are open to do others.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm not paid to do horror, unfortunately. So no one's paying me to make a feature film right now. So yeah, I'm paid to do commercial stuff. So like it will be that kind of advert, for something like a financial app or something, which maybe that's horror to other people. So, you know.
So if someone threw money at you and said, "Make a feature film, make anything you want," what genre would you pick? A horror.
Not necessarily,
Oh,
no. No, not necessarily. So
Oh.
obviously I like it because it gives you room to play with. You can
right,
horror is a very broad term for lots of different things come
right.
under that
Yeah.
banner. You can have sci-fi, thriller, paranormal, slasher, which I wouldn't do,
hmm
and all that kind of stuff will come under that
What do you
banner.
have against slasher?
It's not really my thing.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
like
I
you're
mean,
saying?
you can see in my films, I don't really have blood and
Blood,
stuff
gut,
like that in
gore.
them. Okay,
Yeah,
there's a skeleton in Sadie at -10, but there's not really, yeah, that's not really
your
my
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I more than anything like that kind of tension and stuff. So I would make a thriller. I'd
Ah.
love to make a thriller. I really love the film Nightcrawler, which is a really
Oh
good
yeah.
thriller. I
Mm.
like that kind of thing. Or like a sort of Scandi crime drama or something like that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, or just
speaking of,
something really quirky as well.
yeah.
Just I like
Yeah.
quirky random films that maybe nothing to do with any of those things. So
Well, speaking of horror, you must also be a fan of J horror because I
yes.
see that
Yeah.
you made a short film during the COVID pandemic called Goryo,
Mm.
which I watched. And
Mm.
so, to tell us about Goryo and your thoughts about J horror influences that may have had.
Yeah. So kind of weirdly, I had just come back from a holiday in Japan.
Oh.
So this
Oh,
was, I don't know, maybe a couple of months after that or something. So I kind of had it in mind to make some kind of J horror influence thing anyway. But then a filmmaker I know, Nikolai Kornum, who's a really good DOP, super talented photographer as well, and he's done loads of really cool magazine work and everything. He phoned me on Facebook, and I just thought, if you accidentally go into a thread and there was a point where you could accidentally press call, and I'd done it myself, and I thought, oh, he's accidentally pressed call. Why was he calling it before? So I ignored it. And then he tried again, and I thought, okay, maybe it's not an accident then. So I answered it, and, and then because people don't usually call you out of the blue on
Right.
Facebook, and then he said, "Oh, I'm doing this anthology. Do you want to be involved in it?" And you can do anything as long as it ties in with what his kind of wraparound was, which was a kind of COVID related thing. And he said, but it has to be shot on a mobile phone or a mobile device. So that's the first kind of mobile thing I shot. And to be honest, I'm not massively into mobile filmmaking. I mean,
Right.
it can be
Yeah.
good, right? It can be
Right.
if you've
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
all the
sure.
extras, like what's it called? 28 Years Later, I think, was shot on a
Oh
mobile,
yeah.
wasn't it? I mean,
Mhm.
iPhone, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, so I wasn't like super into mobile filmmaking, but I gave it a shot, and from having the kind of thing that I wanted to do, I made it into like a very micro J horror. Yeah.
Uh, okay.
No, no. I
Okay.
think it's your. Is it your turn? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you you do so much. You do so much. Do you have any hobbies outside of work? Like there's so much you do, but do you do anything
Well,
outside of it?
That was one of my
not
questions.
really lately. No.
No.
I mean, I watch a lot of films. Is that a hobby? And in the past, I've which you could probably find if you look through my socials, I've kind of made these ventriloquist dummies. I've turned them
Oh,
into film characters. So I had Candyman, Darkman, and then a little character of my own as
oh my
well.
God,
But
you
I just
craft
thought
too?
was,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So I just like made their little outfits and painted them and stuff and did photo shoots with them. And
Oh,
Oh my
that makes me
God.
sound really random and weird, but
So
it's
so
cute. No, it doesn't.
so
You do all kinds of craft for your projects.
are
Like you should
yeah.
just do like what you call it? Oh my God, what do you call it? I forgot what it's called. Go ahead, Chris. I'm gonna remember it later.
well. Okay. While you're thinking of that, I wanted to ask: since you make the ventriloquist dummies, are you
Yeah.
also a ventriloquist?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just like them because of James Wan's Dead Silence.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I just really, really love that.
Stop
And then
motion,
obviously,
stop motion pictures.
okay, yeah, they're nice. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, you should
But
do it.
well,
You make them. You should
yeah,
do
I
it.
did experiment with that one
Uh,
time.
oh, how'd that go? None of it.
Well, it looks all right. Yeah, it looks all right. It
Oh,
didn't look bad,
Yeah.
but I mean,
that's a lot of work.
it wasn't like super
It's
professional.
tedious.
But yeah, yeah, exactly. I just tested it out. It was quite cool. But
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Well, I wouldn't normally ask if you were a ventriloquist, but with all the other things
Oh
you
no.
do, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have surprised me actually.
No, these little ones, they really are. They look like ventriloquist dummies,
Oh, okay.
but they've only got like this little string, and they open their mouth, and
Right.
that's all they do. They don't do
Yeah.
anything
Oh.
else. But yeah, I
Yeah,
did,
I've
and I
got
didn't
one.
make the actual doll of it. It was a base doll.
Oh, okay.
And then I painted them, and I sculpted the hair and stuff like that, and I
Oh
sculpted a
my
little moustache
goodness.
on one, and yeah,
That
I
would
made the little
remind me of
clothes,
those
and
movies, puppets back in the days when they wake up in the middle of the night and start killing people.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Well, that's what
Yeah.
they look like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's creepy.
that
so
is what they look like.
does
You
one of
lock them
them
up at night
does
just in
one of
case.
them look like the doll in Dead Silence? I think it's a
No, I can't remember what he's called. I think he's called Billy, isn't he, as
yeah, yeah,
well?
right,
Yeah,
right,
he is called
right.
Billy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But he's kind of a classic ventriloquist dummy look with
Okay.
he's got the red bow tie, hasn't he, and the
Yeah.
black suit, I think, and the sort of little shiny slick back hair, and yeah, I think, the standard look for a ventriloquist dummy.
So where can we watch all your movies? Is everything on your YouTube and
Mm,
Venmo and not Venmo, sorry.
Vimeo, yeah.
Vimeo. Is it
Yeah,
on there?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. The
Those are the
Vimeo,
two
I
places.
haven't really added things to in recent years. So most of it's on YouTube, but there are a
Okay.
few things that are also on my Vimeo. So
So we can watch
yeah,
most of the
yeah,
things on
yeah, yeah,
YouTube. Okay.
yeah.
Emma Dark YouTube. Sorry, through my phone. Sorry. Got
And
excited.
Emma, I also see on your website a documentary which can be purchased there called Chasing the Final Girl,
Yes,
which
yeah,
is described
yeah,
as, quote, a deep dive into the final girl trope in horror movies. I've also loved final girl movies myself, where a
yeah,
woman like Ellen Ripley in Alien or Laurie Strode in Halloween not only
exactly.
survives but kicks the butt of the killer in the end. So since you
Yeah.
participated in a documentary
Mm,
about that specifically,
mm,
can you tell us about that?
mm. So actually, I was asked to do that by a filmmaker friend of mine called Sarah Appleton. So she was making this documentary for the prom night release and asked me to be in that alongside lots of other female filmmakers and other kind of people from the scene. So it's specifically about prom night rather than the final girl trope in general. So yeah, that's kind of for that. I mean, a small amount, not a massive amount. There's also Jake West's Razor Blade Smile release, which I haven't put up there, which he's got a documentary
Yes.
called Vampires Forever,
I was going
which
to ask
I'm
about
also
that
in.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's it's not just talking about Razor Blade Smile, it's talking about the origin of these kind of films and the origin of vampire films in general, really, through history. So yeah, there's a couple of different documentary things, but I've been a bit naughty. I've not yet added that to my website, so because I haven't had a lot of time.
What's the funniest thing that has happened on set?
Yeah, okay. There's one thing that comes to mind, which maybe
good.
I'll release one day in a behind the scenes kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I do actually have a lot of footage. So so I had two cinematographers on season night, and one of them, AJ Singh, he started off on the project doing behind the scenes footage. So I have a whole bunch of stuff from him that I've never cut into a mini doc because the
Oh,
mini doc will probably be longer than a short film, to be honest.
oh,
But maybe one day I will do that. But there's a bit it catches. Oh my God.
uh-oh.
Okay. So there's no visible werewolf in the film. There's just a shadow of the werewolf in the film. I don't know if you noticed that, but I originally wanted to have a full werewolf in the film. And one of the special effects guys had a costume already. It was a really nice looking costume, really, really good. However, you got to get the lighting right, and the lighting was not right. The lighting was not right, and so in this shot, that it was one of the other special effects guys who was dressed up in costume, and he's walking across, taking my direction. He's doing a great job, but just the way the lighting is, and the small amount of time you have to actually do anything on an indie film set. We didn't have time to relight everything just for this one tiny, tiny piece. The time was literally running out. And he's walking across, but it just looks like Godzilla or something. And he's sort of doing, if my memory serves me correctly, because I haven't looked at this footage recently, I think he's doing a roar as he's walking across as well. And it's just like, okay, no, it can't be used in the film, but yeah, so that was quite funny. And I'd cut a little 5-minute piece out of that, and I showed the casting crew that in the casting crew screening, and I thought it was hilarious. But yeah. It's just one of those things, it was a great idea, but very difficult to pull off in reality.
Which project was the hardest to complete?
Mm,
Like maybe the
mm,
weather or like
mm.
lost footage or something like that.
They both were. So for season night, I had to do 2 reshoots, and one the first
Oh,
time in the garage scene
two?
where the werewolf doesn't really appear. Yeah.
Oh,
We ran out of time. We just ran out of time
oh
because
my
you've got to
God.
remember we're shooting this when the garage is shut, and the garage owners come in, and he's basically let me use this location for a long time, but it's not enough time to complete
Oh,
everything. And then and I looked at the footage afterwards. The lighting, it was a bit overlit in
um,
retrospect, a bit 90s.
yeah.
And going back to it again to have to do a reshoot, we just started from scratch again and made it darker and
Oh.
more moody. So yeah, so that was one. And then I actually rented, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a zombie kind of airsoft escape room
You
experience
forgot what it
kind
was
of
called.
place. I can't remember. It's a famous zombie like experience place in
Yeah.
London. But I mean, zombies aside, there are no zombies there. It just has really cool things. It looks like a bunker inside. It was Bunker 51, I think that's what it's called. And so we went to shoot in there. It cost quite a lot of money to rent it
Oh.
out, and we were using a different camera for this. I looked at the footage. Yeah, now as time's progressed, it could be matched more easily, but it really, in all respects, it was beautiful footage, but it didn't match the other footage. And I thought,
Oh,
okay, one scene, I don't really want something to look entirely different.
right.
So I did decide to scrap that,
Oh.
which is a shame. And then we reshot that, and we reshot that outside of a factory with tubes and stuff coming down. And it's the scene where it's me and Carey Thring, who plays Tobias, and we're having the discussion with all the paperwork and stuff. So again, it did turn out for the better, but it was a bit painful getting there because it's money, but it's also people's time to have to do
Yeah.
these things. But sometimes you can't help it. And
Yeah.
similar with Salient Minus 10. Like I said, I originally shot that myself. It was torrential rain. I couldn't finish it. I had an actor come from somewhere else in the country who
Oh
couldn't come
my.
back to complete the shooting.
Oh.
So, then it was a case of do I wait for months and
Oh.
everything's changed, the scenery, or do I have to make a tough decision to start again? Which I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my
So, which is
God.
not an ideal situation, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the actor was very gracious about that.
Oh.
So, yeah, yeah. So,
Oof. That's rough.
yes, yeah. But unfortunately, this is the way things go when, everyone is doing other things and you're just trying to scrabble everyone's time together in a short window. And it's not obviously helpful when there's torrential rain. So,
Mhm.
So, who is your biggest supporter? Does your family support your career?
I guess so. I mean,
I
I
guess so.
don't think they really think of it like that. I don't know. I would say the fans of the films are the biggest supporters
Yeah.
because they're the ones whose taste it's appealing to. So, if people like those films, then they're going to be more invested in, future projects that I
Right.
produce and follow that. So, um, yeah, if that makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
my family don't
yeah.
support me, so
Oh no.
sorry, Chris, I keep asking questions.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Go
That's
ahead.
okay. Uh, so when I talked to you earlier, Emma, you
Mm,
mentioned that you have a script that you
mm,
have written for another film that you plan to make. So
yeah.
right here, maybe on the Contagious podcast, we might be hearing possibly the first details about that. Is that possible?
Yeah, I've mentioned it in a couple of other podcasts,
Okay,
sorry.
well then you'll hear
But
it too. Then here.
it's been going on. It's been going on a while. So
Okay,
yeah, I wrote it about I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, maybe even longer.
okay,
Maybe
Oh,
it could be, I don't know. So it's written. It needs editing because it's just a lot of chain of thought and description that probably doesn't need to be in there. The actors don't need to see that.
hmm
And it is a horror film, a paranormal, but also a tech horror film.
oh,
So yeah, I'm like very keen on making that. But after I wrote it, the economy started really crashing.
oh,
And I thought, okay, well, I'll leave it for now because, if I'm going to do a crowdfund, there's not really any point if the economy's bad and people can't support the crowdfund, and then plus also if the economy is bad, it's more difficult to get people's spare time as well to make these films. So I've just kind of delayed it really, and now it's been delayed for a long time. So I'm hoping it will actually get made at some point.
okay,
Yeah, but it's a big. When I start a film, then that's it. I'm going to be totally full on with that film, and everything's going to go into it in terms of all of my free time, my passion, and other people's as well. So I want it to be in a good place to start that film.
Well, one of the advantages might be, and I can only say this from the perspective of being a writer to myself, is that even though you've already written it, if you're like me, you having time to think about it, you come up with more ideas and ways to tweak it and make it better along the way. I don't know if that's happening or not, but
Yeah, I've tried not to because I've got a very clear vision with what I
okay.
want
Well,
from
that's
it.
great.
To
Yeah.
the point, like, even because I have cast one of my friends who is an actor and a really cool person in a certain role, and I literally have the actual shots in my mind completely with them in, like
Okay.
100% visualized. But it's getting around to launching that really, because it's a lot of work, and like I said, it's a lot of work for other people as well to get involved, and I want it to be the right time.
If money wasn't an issue,
mm.
what would you make?
Oh, I probably would make a feature if money was absolutely no issue,
No issue at all. What would you
and I
make?
could therefore secure everyone's time as well as
Hmm.
my own. um I don't know what I'd make. I don't know what I'd
So
make,
yeah.
but it'll be a feature. But it would probably, to be honest, it probably wouldn't be a full-on horror film. It would probably be something more like a dark thriller, like
Oh,
Nightcrawler or something like that. I just really love those kind of films, and actually, Nightcrawler is one of my favorite films.
oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah. So
Nightcrawler is really nice too.
I'd like to make something like that. Um,
I don't
yeah,
think I've
I don't
seen
know.
that one. I need to look that up
Oh,
for sure.
you should watch it. It's really, really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
between drama and comedy, which would you choose?
Drama. I'm no good at comedy, as you can probably tell from this interview.
Streaming or theater?
um, it kind of depends. If it's a nice theatre, yeah, the theatre, and it's a good experience. Like every time I've gone recently, if it's a mainstream chain theatre, you just have a million people in there on their phones or talking, which
Yeah.
is quite
Oh,
irritating.
yes.
Yeah.
Day shoot or night shoot?
Mm. Day shoot.
Night shoot's rough with those lightings, huh?
Mm. Yeah.
Mountains or beach?
Beach, 100%.
Why is that?
Just love them. I love beaches.
Yeah.
I love beaches, and I love that whole thing, right? When you've got like the sand and the sea, and it's like in the
Uh,
middle of like a place. It's like a liminal
yeah.
space or whatever you want to call it, which is why I made that little short film called Purgatoric, because
Oh,
the beach and the sea is kind of a bit like a purgatory space. I don't know. I love the beach for many reasons. Plus, it's beautiful and relaxing. So,
city or countryside?
uh,
Uh,
it's kind of equal for me. It's kind of equal, but there's more things going on in the city, so I'll say city.
Oh,
practical effects or CGI?
Practical, practical. But I love practical effects, but more and more I'm thinking about like the environment and stuff. Like, will these things be reused, etc., etc.
Right.
So yeah.
Sorry, Chris, I cut you off again.
well, I just wanted to make sure I add that, of course, for the listeners out there, I know you have an official website, emmadark.com, which we will add a link to in the podcast description. And you are also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, you have the official YouTube channel. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that, again, for all the listeners, we have all the places where we can keep up with what you're doing. And did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm on a few other socials, but yeah,
Okay.
those are the main
Those
ones,
those are
really.
the
Yeah.
major ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I'm going to add this so we don't forget. Maya always offers to put the podcast guests on the cover of her magazine, Effective Magazine. So,
Okay.
excuse me, if you would like to be on the cover, then you can send some
Send me several
pictures
photos
of
so
your
I
choice
can.
to me,
Okay.
and I can forward them on to Maya if you would like to do that. Yeah, just to let
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take some out.
Yeah.
And um, as I always also like to say, not to say that this is necessarily the last question, but is there anything we have not asked yet that you would like to talk about? Because interviewers
Mm.
often forget something.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
I forgot you only had an hour, so I keep asking questions. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, no, I don't think so. I mean, I suppose something cool to mention that is not horror related is for about 18 months. Yeah, sorry. It's for about 18 months I was the resident expert for Digital Filmmaker magazine, which I really,
Oh,
really enjoyed doing. And it
Okay.
was really cool and it was really supportive for indie filmmakers from all kinds of genres. And it had really cool articles and stuff in there about the latest tech and all kinds of things. And it was really amazing. And sadly, it disappeared, as many things do, because,
oh,
times change, funding, all
Hmm.
these kind of things. It's another one of the many things I've mentioned in this podcast that's
oh,
disappeared.
everything's
But yeah,
disappearing.
yeah, that was really fun. And yeah, and I just want to say, obviously we've talked about some of the challenges of filmmaking and things like that. And um, when you're as you know, when you're an indie filmmaker, you have to end up making these mistakes, otherwise you can't
Oh yeah,
learn. Is one thing. So I don't want to put anyone off
Hmm.
who's watching, thinking, "Oh, I'd like to make a film, but oh my God, if you've got to do all these reshoots and wait
right.
for the crowdfunding and stuff like that." But yeah, I mean, this is what everyone has to go through. So yeah.
Okay. And before I ask my 5 random questions, I
Mm.
have to ask about the heat wave that
Mm.
is in the
Oh,
UK right now. How are you doing with that right now?
Yeah, not too bad at the minute. I've got a little
Okay.
fan right
Good.
next to me, so
All right.
that's
Okay, great.
that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got up to, like, I don't know, maybe it was 39 degrees a couple of weeks ago, and it's
Hmm.
been in like the mid 30s here recently. A bit less today, but the thing is, there's no aircon here, not in
Yeah.
residential,
Yeah, you
so
told me I
it's
didn't know
yeah,
that at all earlier. I
yeah.
was surprised.
No,
can I
it's awful. Yeah.
can I throw one more question before you ask the random questions?
Sure. Yes.
What's the hardest part of financing your movies?
I think it's just getting, like, well, because I have done crowdfund, I've not gone down the route of getting an investor or uh but other kinds of funding. It's always been crowdfunding and me paying out of my own savings
Yeah,
for it
that's
as well.
hard.
So yeah, I mean I've paid a lot of money out of my savings. So it's not just I'm not just relying on people's generosity for crowdfunds,
That's
but
what I was thinking,
yeah,
because that's hard.
exactly. But the thing is, when you're doing these crowdfunds, you can't just say, "Oh, give me some money," and
Yeah.
that's it, because that's
Yeah.
not fair, is it really? So you have to be providing something in
Right.
return, and trying to think of things that are actually valuable and cool and don't cost so much money that it takes away all of the amount that's been funded from
Right.
from that perk or whatever. It's quite difficult, um, and people are very patient that fund these
Right.
crowdfunds because they can go on forever.
That takes
They
forever.
really can, and people could be waiting a long time to get things. So
Some people forget
yeah.
about it, and then some
Mm.
products show up like, oh, I forgot I had this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's really good that people are willing to do these things.
Well, if you ever have a crowdfunding, please send it to me. I pretty much donate to almost every indie crowdfunder that sends my way. Send it my
Oh,
way,
thank you,
and
thank
I'll
you,
share it onto our pages as well.
thank you very much.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris, you can go ahead.
Okay. The 5 random questions to get to know you better outside of even filmmaking, Emma.
Okay.
What is your favorite season of the year?
Autumn.
Okay, me too. I
Me
love it.
too.
Love that
Yeah,
cool temperature and
Yeah.
the
yeah,
leaves.
and the colors and
Yeah,
Yeah.
chilling in
Everything
the
that's
yeah.
air.
dead,
Love it. No heat
death,
waves. No heat waves.
Exactly.
death,
Well, hopefully not.
death.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just death for me.
Yeah. Number 2, what is your favorite holiday?
But would be Halloween.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too.
That's
I
the
Same
knew
only
it.
one.
one.
I knew
Yeah.
it's Halloween
Yeah.
because
I
it's
should
death.
have known that. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Death.
Some people don't consider it a holiday, but I do. I
It's
I
a
really
holiday.
do. It's Halloween every day around here for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Christmas
my
for me.
third question was going to be, do you have any pets? But I know you have a cat, so I'm going to modify that. What is the most unusual pet you've ever had?
Okay, this is a bit weird.
Oh,
No, it
It,
can't be that
it
weird.
wasn't really a pet. So somebody, this is a million years ago when I was a teenager. This little boy came up to me with a Kinder egg, and in the Kinder egg was a lizard. And
Oh,
he gave me this lizard, but it was a lizard you can get in the wild, which is
yes,
It's
they're
alive.
rare. They're rare in the
yes,
UK. You can get
yeah.
them in the woods, tiny little things. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? So I tried to, look after the lizard and give it
Try to.
some. Well, yeah, unfortunately, it didn't really eat anything. So in the end, I had to release it, but I didn't really know where you're supposed to release it. I don't know. So
Oh.
that was a sort of pet for a
Just
week.
just believe that it survived.
I hope
Yes.
it survived. Yeah,
It don't
yeah.
live very long, so it's probably
No.
dead now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What was I supposed to do with it? I don't know.
Yeah. Number 4, if you won the lottery, Emma,
Hmm.
and I'm assuming you have a lottery in the UK, what
Yes.
is the first thing you would buy with your winnings?
Gonna make a movie.
Yeah, okay, great. Make a feature film. Make a feature film.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd buy. I don't know what I'd buy.
Buy a
Probably just
house,
like a
farm.
really big house
There
So
you
she
go.
can film in
with a
it.
studio in it. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it.
No.
There you go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
every room is a different theme, so she can film in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5. What is one of your hobbies that has absolutely nothing to do with filmmaking?
Oh, that's rough.
You see, I'm struggling here.
Oh, okay.
All
You
right,
got her.
okay. Gardening. There you go.
Oh.
What's that?
I wouldn't say it's a hobby. It's a
Gardening.
necessity.
Oh, gardening. Okay,
It's a
sure.
necessity. What do you plant?
I don't plant anything. I just like cut stuff and sweep stuff and
Oh,
that's it.
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
very maintenance kind of gardening.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Okay.
for coming
Yes.
on.
Emma, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. This has been so much fun. We greatly appreciate it. And yeah, awesome time.
Thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to seeing the pictures and
Thank you.
hope to have you on the next cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks
Okay.
for
Thank
that.
you so much. Have
Okay.
a wonderful day.
Yes.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Clicking the link, lean in, your grin, 2 mics, 1 vibe. All right, let's dive. It's coffee and chaos, scroll and sip, big deep questions, petty trip, side-eye science, bathroom talk, dreams and disasters on a walk. Contagious podcast, catching on so fast about everything and nothing. You'll be laughing, then you're thinking the Contagious podcast. Let the time slip past, hit play, lean back, keep listening.
Hot take, heartbreak, kitchen chair, life on mute. We overshare. Leans, walt stories, Crisco's wait. 2 open diaries, 1 with faith.
Contagious podcast, catching on so fast about everything and nothing. You'll be laughing, then you're thinking the Contagious podcast. Let the time slip past, hit play, lean back, keep listening. You're in the group chat, riding the spin, round and around till you're hooked again, 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 again. The Contagious podcast, catching on so fast about everything and nothing. You'll be laughing, then you're thinking the Contagious podcast. Let the time slip past. Hit play, lean back, keep listening.